I always imagined my Ferrari 488 GTB meeting its end in a blaze of glory, maybe me pushing it too hard on a racetrack, tires screaming, engine roaring. Never did I picture it crumpled by a reckless teenager, the son of an HOA president whose entitlement rivaled a dictator's. Patricia Coleman, the self-crowned queen of Willow Creek, stood over the wreckage, demanding I pay for the damage her son caused, claiming, "It's your car, Mr. Reynolds. Your responsibility." The audacity was surreal, a twisted logic that could only come from someone who believed rules didn't apply to her. This is the story of how a totaled supercar sparked a suburban war, exposing a tyrant's corruption and shaking a community to its core. A year ago, I moved to Willow Creek, lured by its quiet streets and spacious garages perfect for a car enthusiast like me. I'm James Reynolds, a retired software engineer who traded code for the mechanical poetry of high-performance machines. My Ferrari 488 GTB, in a striking Rosso Corsa red, was my masterpiece, a reward for decades of untangling digital chaos. It wasn't just a car, it was art, engineering, a statement. But to Patricia, it was a provocation. Patricia, though her real name was probably something bland, like Linda, was the HOA's iron-fisted ruler. Her weapon? A clipboard of violation notices. Her chariot? A gleaming black Range Rover that screamed, "I judge your landscaping." Clad in designer athleisure she'd never sweat in, her face was a permanent scowl, as if the world perpetually disappointed her. My first clash with her was trivial, a notice about my trash cans lingering curbside an hour too long. I complied, thinking it was just HOA nonsense. I was wrong. My Ferrari, even garaged, became her obsession. Its red gleam, visible when I opened the door, seemed to offend her. Once, while I waxed it, she cornered me, ostensibly about fence colors, but her eyes lingered on the car. "A bit flashy for Willow Creek, don't you think, Mr. Reynolds?" she said, her voice syrupy with disdain. I smiled. "It's my joy, Patricia, and it's quiet at 25 miles an hour." Her lips pursed. I was marked. The night it happened, I was at a tech conference 2 hours away. My house was locked, alarms armed, the Ferrari tucked in its garage bay, covered on a charger. My neighbor, George, a retired teacher, had an emergency key to my house, not my car's. At 1 a.m., my phone rang. George's voice trembled. "James, come home. Your carrot's wrecked." My stomach dropped. "Wrecked?" "It's in the garage," he stammered. "It's blocks away, smashed into a pole. Police are here." A kid was driving. That kid was Patricia's son, Ethan, a 17-year-old with his mother's smirk and a rap sheet of petty crimes the neighborhood whispered about. I drove back, fury simmering. The scene was worse than I'd imagined. The Ferrari's sleek lines were mangled, its front end obliterated, a wheel torn off. Police lights flashed, illuminating the carnage. Sergeant Daniels, a gruff cop, laid it out. Ethan, aiming to impress friends, broke into my garage, found the valet key in a lockbox, likely watching me use it once, and took the Ferrari for a joyride. He sped through quiet streets, fishtailing, until he slammed into a pole. Miraculously, Ethan and his pals escaped with scratches, saved by the car's safety features. The Ferrari? Totaled. Ethan faced charges: grand theft auto, reckless driving, endangerment. He was in custody, but I knew the real fight was coming. Patricia. Dawn broke as the tow truck hauled away my car's remains. I stood there, anger hardening into resolve. This wasn't just about a car. It was a violation of trust, of safety. Then, at 9 a.m., my doorbell rang. Patricia stood on my porch, in a crisp blazer and slacks, her Range Rover parked half on my driveway. Her husband, Harold, trailed her, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Mr. Reynolds," she began, her voice icy. "We need to talk about this incident." I crossed my arms. "Incident? Your son stole my $300,000 car and destroyed it. That's a felony, Patricia." She bristled. "Ethan made a mistake. Boys show off. He didn't steal it, borrowed it." I nearly choked. "Borrowed?" "He broke into my garage." Her eyes flashed. "If you insist on such a provocative car, you should expect this. It's an attractive nuisance." "An attractive nuisance? My locked-up Ferrari?" The gall was staggering. Then came the kicker. "Since it's your car, your insurance should cover the damage. Handle it discreetly. Ethan's future is at stake." Tell the police it was a misunderstanding and you let him drive it. I stared, speechless. Harold shifted uncomfortably. Finally, I said, you want me to pay for your son's crime and lie to the police? That's obstruction of justice, Patricia. A felony. Her face twisted. How dare you? We're pillars of this community. You, with your garish car, you're the problem. She shrieked. You'll hear from our lawyer. We'll sue for emotional distress, for endangering a minor with that death trap. Harold mumbled. Patricia, maybe. She silenced him with a glare and stormed off, slamming her car door. I watched her peel away, stunned but resolute. This was war. I called my insurance, updating them on Patricia's demands. My adjuster, Claire, was unfazed. Her claims are nonsense, Mr. Reynolds. Your policy covers theft. We'll pursue Ethan and his parents for restitution. Next, I contacted Laura Bennett, a litigation attorney with a reputation for shredding opponents. I laid out the saga, the theft, Patricia's visit, her threats. Laura laughed, a sharp, predatory sound. She called your garaged Ferrari an attractive nuisance? She's handing us a slam dunk. Our plan. Cooperate with the police on Ethan's charges, let insurance handle the claim, and prepare for Patricia's inevitable lawsuit with countersuits for harassment and defamation. I upgraded my security high-res cameras covering every angle of my property. George revealed Ethan had cased my house for weeks, loitering, watching. He gave a police statement, guilt-ridden for not speaking sooner. Ethan, out on bail, was unrepentant, posting cryptic social media boasts about his legendary ride, archived by Laura's tech contact. His deleted texts, recovered via warrant, were damning. Mom won't care if I mess with Reynolds' car. She thinks he's a show-off. Patricia's complicity or negligence was now in play. Patricia didn't stop. A week later, an HOA notice arrived, fining me for grass, exceeding height standards by a fraction of an inch. My lawn was pristine. Then came notices for a faded mailbox, brand new, and a discolored driveway stone, invisible. Each was documented, photographed, and rebutted with Laura's help, citing the notice's retaliatory nature given Ethan's charges. Patricia was weaponizing the HOA, but I was ready. My career had taught me to dismantle flawed systems, and Patricia's HOA was a house of cards. I began talking to neighbors. George was an ally, but others, like Mrs. Larson, shared their own horror stories, forced to repaint her door twice over unapproved shades, costing hundreds. Another neighbor's solar panel request was denied later. We learned Patricia's cousin owned a non-solar roofing company. The HOA was Patricia's fiefdom, enforcing rules selectively, funneling contracts to allies. This wasn't just about my carrot, it was about justice. Ethan's case gained traction. The DA, armed with texts and witness accounts, indicted him on felony counts. My insurance declared the Ferrari a total loss, initiating subrogation against Ethan and his parents. Patricia's newsletter, sent days before the HOA meeting, painted her as Willow Creek savior while slamming disruptive elements like me. It backfired, fueling resentment. The annual HOA meeting was electric. The clubhouse, usually empty, was packed. Patricia, in a severe suit, tried to control the room, but her confidence cracked. Laura, my proxy, stood. Madam President, I'm Laura Bennett, representing James Reynolds. We propose an audit of HOA finances, standardized enforcement, and a no-confidence vote against you. She presented evidence, my retaliatory fines, ignored violations at board allies' homes, affidavits of harassment, Ethan's texts hinting at Patricia's approval. The room gasped. Patricia sputtered, lies. I spoke. After Ethan stole my Ferrari, Patricia demanded I pay for it and lie to the police. When I refused, she weaponized the HOA. I showed my notices next to photos of board members' unpunished violations. As Patricia tried to shout me down, the doors opened. Sergeant Daniels entered with 2 officers. Patricia Coleman, you're under arrest for obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and accessory to grand theft auto. The room froze. Patricia's face collapsed. Arrest me? For what? Daniels cited her demands I lie and her harassment. Ethan faced new charges for intimidating witnesses. Handcuffed, Patricia was let out, her board allies silent, Harold ashen. The room erupted not in cheers, but in relieved chatter. Mrs. Larson was elected interim president. Our motions passed. An audit, enforcement review, transparency. The audit later uncovered Patricia's embezzlement HOA funds spent on personal luxuries, funneled to her cousin's company. She faced new charges, took a plea, and got probation, restitution, and a lifetime HOA ban. Ethan was convicted, sentenced to juvenile detention and probation. Harold left her, their wealth drained by legal fees. Patricia now works retail, her Range Rover gone. I bought a McLaren 720S in subtle silver and fortified my security. Willow Creek transformed meetings became open, neighbors connected. My Ferrari's loss exposed a tyrant, freeing a community. Sometimes, the real nuisance is the one wielding power. And sometimes, a wrecked car sparks a revolution.